Hi, dear students. Welcome back to another session of Human Resource Management. This is the session of 33, which will ends the chapter 3, or you may call it as module 3. So, in this session that I am going to discuss on the topic procedures of job analysis. What type of procedures in the job analysis has to be followed in the organization and in the companies. This is the last session. Once again, I want to mention because this is the last concept also in this chapter, the chapter 3. And the last concept is the procedures of job analysis in chapter 3. Let's move on. That is what is all about the procedures that particularly followed and then it is contained in job analysis. Let's see one by one. Here, major is there are two approaches are I have mentioned in my PPT. One is work oriented approach and another one is employee oriented approach. These two approach that I mentioned, within these two approach that I want to elaborate in detail with the taking of a little bit 25 to 30 minutes. Thank you. Let's see one by one. Job analysis is done by using two approaches. One is work oriented approach and another one is employee oriented approach. Number one is work oriented approach. Let's see how these two approaches are we must follow with procedures that which will influence to the job analysis. This approach focuses on, which is work oriented approach, will focuses on the actual task involved in the job. This approach mainly concentrate on duties, functions and responsibilities involved in the job. Wherever it may be, either it may be the government sector or it may be the private sector, human resource, or altogether I will say without human resource, I don't think so that any branch, any department, any government bodies or any government sector will work properly. I want to give here one best example that how this work oriented approach will functioning towards job analysis as a procedures. Job of court manager, here I took one best example which is purely depending upon government sector and which is also a strong body of our constitution. We know in our constitution there are three bodies are there. Actually nowadays consider four bodies are there. One is legislature, second one is executive, number three is judiciary, and then fourth one is via medium of journalism, media, and then that sector we will consider the fourth sector of the constitution, but we will highlight on only three sectors, that is legislature, executive, and then judiciary. Here in the work oriented approach that I have taken up one example which is purely depending upon the part of judiciary. Job of court manager at courts in the judiciary part, I said task oriented approach of job analysis statement included. The court manager shall function under the control and guidance of the Chief Justice in the High Court and the district judge in the respective of the district courts. In the taluk judges are there. Take for example the senior additional principal judges are there. We may call it as JMFC, and then the additional courts are there, and then family courts are there. Whatever the court, the branches of courts are there, we have to find out those courts according to the Chief Justice in the High Court. The court manager will follow, and the same thing is a replica of that. The structure. It is also applicable to the district courts and then taluk court as well. He shall work on the policies and standards based on applicable directives of superior courts. establish the performance standards applicable to the court, where it will always including the timeliness, then efficiency, quality of court performance, infrastructure, and human resources, which will always access to the justice as well as for systems for court management and case management is concerned. If that court is not supposed to be taken up, which will consider the efficiency and then quality performance of that court, it must be rely upon the infrastructure and human resources, where access to justice as well as for the system for the court management in the management of cases also be very much considered, because timeliness always to be serious matter to any judge within the given period of time. It is not a given period of time actually in the court. It will continue when it is will saturate in that issue particularly. This is how work oriented approach will always be continue. He will always carry out an evaluation of the compliance of the directives of the court with such standards, identify deficiency and deviations, identify steps required to achieve compliances, maintain such an evaluation on the current basis, thorough annual updates. This is what things could be particularly happening in the court. Either it may be the High Court, or it may be the Supreme Court, or it may be the District Court itself. Deficiency where it is happening, we have to be identify it, and then the derivation of steps required achieve the compliances, which will always maintain to evaluate the annual updates, because annual update is necessary which case is settled and then which case has to be settled, and then which case that we are given the judgment, and then what cases are under the trials. All these things consider under the courts. He will in concerns with rule and policies with the court, and in the consultation with the stakeholder of the court, including litigants, the bar, ministerial staff, and the executive agency supporting judicial functions such as prosecutors, that is police, process service agency prepare, submit the update annually. A 5-year court-wise court development plan is there, that is we call it a CDP for approval of the court. These are all the things that have to be considered in the work-oriented approach. He will also monitor the implementation of the approved CDP, that is court development plan, and report to the district judge and the High Court with the progress. He will always ensure that statistics on all aspects of the functioning of the court are complied and reported accurately and promptly in accordance with a system established according to the High Court. And High Court always followed the rules and regulation made by the Supreme Court and vice versa. He will ensure that reports on the statistics are duly completed and provided required, where that things could be happening particularly in the court. He also ensure that the process and the procedures of the policies and standards established by the High Court for the court management are compiled with, and that they safeguard the quality, ensure that there is a efficiency and then timeliness, and it should be minimize cost, and to litigants and the to the state, and to enhance the access to the justice. Because if anything is happened, the judgment in district court or in the taluk court, there may be appeal can be happening to meet the High Court or to the Supreme Court. He will also ensure that case management system are fully compliant with the policy and standard established by the High Court for the case management, and they address the legitimate needs of litigants in terms of quality, efficiency, and then timeliness. A cost to litigants and to the state, a standard system for the case management shall also be provided, and also it is developed by the High Court for time to time, particularly under the guidance of Supreme Court, as I said in the previous talk. He will also ensure that court meets the standard established by the High Court on access to justice, legal aid. Alternative disputes mechanism are altogether we have to be considered, which always should be user friendly. He must ensure that the court meets quality of adjudication standard established by the High Court, which will communicate to the district court and also to the taluk courts as well. There is a ensure that human resource management of ministerial staff in the court comply with the human resource management standard established by the High Court, because there is a such types of human resource management kept by the High Court, because it is also keeping that because confidential, and then issues are there, and then in the court ministerial staff always to be a diplomatic one, because human resource management will be highly considered, particularly in judiciary sector. He will always ensure that there is a core system of the court are established and functioning effectively, particularly considering the documentation management, utilities management, infrastructure and facilities management, financial system as far as that management also consider, because under that financial system management that ministerial staff must be look upon towards audits, accounts and then payments. What type of audit they have done, whether it is departmental audit or it is AG audit, auditor general audit. There are two audit can be done under government sector. One is departmental audit and then another one is AG audit. These two audits should be considered very much seriously under the government sector, and then accounts have to be maintained according to the one is government accounts and then a non-government account. In that non-government account, we may say that is quasi-government accounts. We have to pay, and then payments according to the permission. Check indent have to be maintained with according to that permission from the authority, and then payment have to be done, and then check indent, and then all those have to be maintained in the financial system itself. And after that we have to wrote the cash book itself, because cash book is one which will gives an entire replica of the passbook. We have to be right at the end what is the balance, and then what type of the cost we will incur, or what are the expenditure there, that end of the day we will see the expenditure incur in that particular ministerial office. At the same time we will always look upon the facilities of infrastructure management, particularly from the ministerial staff. He will ensure that IT system of the court comply with the standard established by the High Court and the fully functional, because this is one thing that all the district court and then taluk court and then High Court, they are ensures that they will displaying monitor in the outside of the court that what type of cases are to be appear, whether it is the case to be settled or whether that case should be trialed. And then information and technology is very much important in this way, because without having information and then technology, one should not either it may be considered the technician are not able to control that system, particularly which will the give that much of standard in the court itself. And there is some sort of a proposed national arrears grid is there to set up the monitor disposal of the cases in all the courts as and when it is set up. These are all the procedures that I am telling to the my students, particularly those who are following in the job analysis. Well, I will discuss one by one, particularly under work-oriented approach. He will feed the proposal of national arrear grids to be set up to the monitor the disposal of cases in all the courts, and as and when it is set up. The court manager shall be responsible in the implementation of managing data entry initiation, services roll out, and then monitoring of the e-court project in the respective district high court, because this is one things could be considered, because otherwise not monitoring properly, I don't think so that controlling and then monitoring is very much important from the high court to their subordinate and then their district court and then taluk courts. And the next one is he shall perform all other administrative function and duties as may be assigned by the Chief Justice in the High Court and also district judge and also in the district court from the time to time. If he is going to assign the ministerial staff as a human resource, they must do according to that where Chief Justice of High Court is directed to give all the rules and regulation to the district judge and also to the taluk judges. And the last point is that under work oriented approach, that is, he shall also report to the Chief Justice or to the district judge or any other judge officers nominated by the Chief Justice shall perform a good duties as assigned by him from time to time. This is what the ministerial staff must do. Dear students, this is elaborate discussion that I am making here because I want to say you people, this is the procedures that we are following in the job analysis. That job, either it may be in the government sector or it may be in the private sector. I took only the court issue that I know court issue in detail because nowadays I am totally experienced the court experience. Major the problem is that the stupid people are making the stupid nonsense issues on that issue that I too facing these types of court issues nowadays. So this is what the work oriented approach comes under because nonetheless I want to go to second one where the procedure of job analysis has to be followed, that is employee oriented approach. This approach focuses on examining of human attributes needed to perform the job perfectly. Human attributes have been classified into knowledge, skills, attitude, and other characteristics. Knowledge is the information people need in order to perform the job. Skills are the proficiencies needed to perform each task, ability, and then ability are the attributes that are relatively stable over time. Other characteristics are all other attributes, usually personality factors. This is one employee oriented approach where I want to give more concentration on this way because knowledge is a very much important for the people, that the people want to go there to the judgment. At the same time, they must follow a little bit of manners and then the little bit of procedures they have to be followed under this approach. There are many examples I also given in this employee oriented approach. Here I have taken if the one of the best example is the court manager shall have MBA degree or advanced diploma in general management from that recognized university or recognized institution of India, then how he is going to deal the issues like judiciary matter as well. He shall have minimum 10 years of experience in the field of management, experience, training in information and technology system. You have to be worked out, and then management, HR manager, it is very much important. Financial system management is absolutely important while in this court manager is concerned. A employee oriented approach as far as the court manager is concerned, he shall not be more than 40 years of age. This is the one condition the government are following to recruit court manager to the government body, particularly to the judiciary sector. He shall always be the excellent communication, both Hindi, English, and then the local language are to be considered depending upon the state that how local language will permits. I don't think so that in high court will comes under the local language. They will allow the local language. They will always deal in the national language and then the language of English. They will follow in the high court level. In the subordinate courts, particularly in downward district courts and then taluk courts, obviously they are following local language and then English as well. And then that court manager must be have excellent computer application skills because if anything, one small thing is went wrong in the court, because that is the judiciary part, they won't make any mistake, and then they can't do any mistake, and then they are not able to do any mistakes in the court itself. They may take time. They took time to give judgment. The trials are going to be happen, and then but the computer part is very much important as far as their skill is concerned, particularly the court manager. He must have the excellent computer application skill in judiciary part itself. So these are all the two procedures that I want to explain. Number one is work oriented approach, and then second one is employee oriented approach. I'm sorry, this session taken lots of time to explain, because this is one session that which will ends up of that chapter 3, which is the session of what I said in the earlier. The session 33 is all about end of chapter 3, or you may call it as module 3, which is all about the job analysis and then design. So with this, I will stop here, dear students. In the last slide, obviously, I mentioned many resources which I take it as a source of reference. Dear students, please follow. With this, I will stop here. In the next session, I will come up with a new topic with new chapter. With this, bye for now. Thank you very much.